So my name's Finlayson, and this is Hermione, and this is Ankita, and we're going to, in the next hour and a quarter, work with you looking at a huge range of climate change resources that we've categorised and not reviewed. So we've not made any judgments on them. So one of the things that we're going to be doing is you're going to get to look at these climate change resources and start to think about how you make some judgments about them, whether they're useful for sustainable schools or your ESD work. And that's the goal of the workshop. And we don't actually, as SEED, make climate change resources, so we're just trying to do this because we think there are a huge number of resources out there, and one of the things that we think is that people need some sort of route map and way to find their way through these plethora of initiatives and resources, lesson plans, ward schemes, and so on. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start off though, because it's lunchtime, and this is the evil hour. We're going to start off with an icebreaker, so don't get comfortable. I put up two bits of paper up here. One on that end called Arcadian, and one at this end called Imperialist. So, this one is not something I completely made up. It does actually come from environmental philosophers who basically said for 2,000 years we have had two ways of thinking about the world. And those two ways are called imperialist and Arcadian, but those are big words and let's not worry about that. So I'm going to say what imperialist is. Imperialist is we are clever enough to fix any problem on the planet we make. And we can therefore use the planet as we want. Is that clear? The word's clear? Okay. Then on the other end, I'm going to have to get Vicky to move because she's going to be swamped at some point, I think, maybe not, is Arcadian. And Arcadian means that if I was still living in Canada, I would say Mother Earth, but these aren't words that people in Britain tend to use. So, but it is a deep green position, but it's sort of saying the Earth is the only I can't think of a better word than that, thing that can heal itself. We are the problem, and we can't do the healing. Okay? So what that's really saying is the Earth is sort of like a personality in this, and it has its own dynamism, its own position, if you like, that's probably higher than us as human beings. And that one is more like we are higher than the Earth because we can do everything that we like. So I'm not saying I agree with either of these. I'm just saying that for 2,000 years you've been able to find these positions, these worldviews. What I want you to do now is to imagine a line between the two. So you are going to have to move, Vicky. And I would like you to think about where you might place yourself on that line. You know, do you strongly agree with the Arcadian view, and are you going to position yourself there? Are you not quite that strong but would position yourself somewhere here? Are you somewhere in the middle, which will make us the camera? That was bad. Or do you strongly agree with this, or are you somewhere in between? Okay? And you may have changed your mind over time. It doesn't really matter. You may even change your mind today. The idea is not to commit yourself necessarily, but to just at the top of the head think, well, where would I place myself? And then the important thing is to chat with the people next to you to see if you are in the right place. Because if they don't quite agree with you, you may have to shift to the left or to the right. Okay? So it's really about that conversation with people around you, and then we're going to ask people, why have they placed themselves where they are? Can you describe your worldview? So other people can hear a variety of worldviews. Number one, there is no wrong answer. And if someone dearly wants to stand over there, or dearly wants to stand there, we aren't going to tell them off, are we? No. Good. I have been to one where I did it with policymakers, and they did have a go at each other. I won't tell you who they were, but from interesting organisations that I think as teachers you would find that quite interesting. But they were running up and down the line saying, well, you can't stand there, but we're not doing that today, okay? So we're just going to have a conversation with each other to see whether they're in the right place, okay? Let's go for it. Academic.
Yeah, I mean, is it sort of saying that...